So if you're a property owner, how do you make sure you stay out of a place like this to handle your property rights and your property ownership? This is Dave at TitleSearch.com. One of the most common requests that we get for title searches from individuals is to be used in a court like this to handle some property dispute. It may be an easement. It may be a lien against a property. Sometimes it's defending against foreclosure. And if you have really good records and have documented that property prior to purchasing it, you can easily stay out of a situation you have to spend thousands or tens of thousands on legal fees in a place like this. Perfect example is, within the last couple of weeks, talked to a client who had a property that was purchased through a foreclosure auction. And as part of that purchase, they received a quitclaim deed, or actually it was a sheriff's deed, that transferred the property to them. They had run a very basic title search to find out if there are any liens on the property and whether the mortgage that they were buying was a first mortgage. Everything's okay there. Come to find out, 3 years later, there was an empty lot behind them that somebody owned, and they came to start building, actually a storage building on that piece of property. And they started driving across their property. And they said, hey, what are you doing? Come to find out, there was an easement on this foreclosure property that allowed the neighbor to drive across it anytime they wanted to carry materials to the other lot. The lot turned out to be landlocked. It had no access to public roads other than through this foreclosure property. So our client called us up to say, hey, what about this easement? We ran a search. Sure enough, there was an easement. It was easy enough to find. But the title search they originally ordered, not from us, but from, actually it was a local company, did not search for easements at all. It just searched for liens and mortgages. That's it. Well, it would have been really good to know about that easement. It may have still been a good purchase to make. It may have still been a great deal, but at least you would have known about it, maybe not used the property where that easement was, or maybe even bid less money to get the property for cheaper. So understanding what rights you have with the property prior to becoming an owner is an excellent way to stay out of a courtroom, stay out of disputes with neighbors, and to make sure your ownership interests are clear. If you have questions about running a title search or getting property records, you can reach us at our website at TitleSearch.com.